third place game in the NIT. We've already crowned a champ, but these two teams have one more game left in their season. Louisiana Tech taking on Colorado State, the #1 overall seed here in the NIT. They laid it all out on the line in the semifinals, came up just short, but they're going to prove they can finish the season strong. Take a look at our bracket. That's our guy Boogie Ellis from Memphis with the net around his neck, celebrating the championship. Memphis with a dominant performance over Mississippi State in the championship game, taking home the title. Now, Louisiana Tech and Colorado State will duke it out for the third place game. If you're not familiar with this game, well, it was last played in 2003 in the NIT. Texas Tech defeated Minnesota. NCAA also had it back in 1981. What's up, everybody? I'm John Triffin alongside my partner, Fran Fraschilla. Chris Budden will join us momentarily. Now, Fran, if you had told us a year ago, when we didn't know if we were going to have basketball, that there would be a third-place game in the NIT, everyone would have their hand raised saying, yeah, sign me up.
I'll take it.
These two teams are excited about this game.
Hey, these two teams have already won 20 games. They were each a game maybe from being in the NCAA tournament. One of these teams is going to get a win and an extra win on their season, but we know they're going to come out and play with great energy and enthusiasm.
All right, let's take a look at our stars for this game. David Roddy in the semifinal against Memphis. He had tall trees, but he still put up big numbers.
Big boy, but there's a bigger boy in town, Junior Lofton, who has been already named to the all-tournament team of the NIT. Congrats to Junior. This is going to be a fun matchup today.
I'm really looking forward to this. Let's bring in the third member of our crew, Chris Budden.
Well, I spoke with Eric Conkle before the game. He said, my message to my guys this morning was, look, we have friends and family all over the country in different leagues that didn't even get to play basketball at all this year. So think of this as a privilege. People had canceled games, pauses. He goes, this is our 32nd game. That is remarkable. Enjoy playing on national TV, because that doesn't come very often.
That is the truth. Think about the kids in the Ivy League who didn't even have a season this year. We are underway here in Frisco, Texas. The third place game of the NIT. Our officials, Larry Spalding, Jerry Heater, Brooks Wells. Colorado State comes out in the home white uniforms.
They rely on good ball movement, 5 out. They spread you out. And those two guards have been outstanding, Stevens and Moore.
There's one of those guards. That is Moore for 3, and that's a good start for Colorado State.
The one junior that really plays a lot, what you'll love about both of these teams is you're going to see lots of sophomores and underclassmen. And, of course, this freshman with the ball.
Lofton can't connect underneath to Pemberton, and there's the first turnover on the first possession of the game for Louisiana Tech. Your starting 5 for the Rams. This looks familiar for Colorado State fans. Moore, Stevens, that incredible backcourt. David Roddy, the force inside, and Moores and Thistlewood, who they want to get going from the outside. Stevens to Moores. Moores loses it, and this is Ledoux coming the other way for the Bulldogs. He pulls up in transition.
Uh-oh. Bad sign for Colorado State.
If Ledoux gets going, he was quiet last night, but if he gets going tonight, Colorado State could be in trouble. Archibald Ledoux, starting 5 for Louisiana Tech.
Hey, you'll notice Mr. Lofton looks a little bit up in our direction when he hits a shot. You know, you never know where the motivation comes. Sometimes it comes from within, sometimes it comes from the TV announcers.
Don't
and
know
I
what
think
you're
he
talking
heard
about.
you yesterday, our boy Fran.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alluded to the fact that maybe there was a reason that Lofton wasn't among the big men in the SEC. Lofton heard it, saw some stuff on Twitter, maybe thought he was disrespected a bit.
Let me tell you guys something. When I coached at Manhattan College, I tried to steal guys like this guy. That's why my teams were good, because we had Big East SEC players that didn't look like they were as good as they could be. And this guy, we know he can play. I love watching him play.
Nice pass inside to Moores, can't finish, and look who gets the board. Kenneth Lofton Jr.
Watch out.
I said, for the record, it was a little harsh, and I know you're the talent evaluator, so I give your opinion on that. I value your opinion on that, but I think in a COVID year, when you don't have a preseason, the season is start and stop, you don't know what the potential is for certain kids.
No, there's no question. I had a 6'3", 250-pound center at Manhattan College. He went to 4 straight postseasons, 2 NCAAs, beat Oklahoma. We tried to steal guys like this. My point is, SEC teams probably looked at him and said, he's undersized, and we want a bigger guy. And what he's done.
You're not backing down.
No.
You're not backing down.
No, because like I said, I coach at the mid-major level, places like Louisiana Tech, and we try to get guys like this all the time. He's remarkably skilled. There's no doubt about it. And by the way, we've spent 2 games complimenting him about his
100%. But he's only a freshman. And to say we're basically, giving too much credit to some talent evaluators out there when we know there's so much about recruiting is political and the rankings and all that nonsense. So maybe he wasn't ranked as high, but as we see on the court, this kid can play.
John, you know what I love about him? He's not going to be 19 until August 14th. Think about that. He played an entire season at 18 years old.
You see the respect. Look at the respect there. Colorado State is doubling him as soon as he touches it. Ledoux off the mark. 3 white jerseys around that ball to grab the rebound for the Rams.
And Ledoux not hesitant. He's a volume guy. When he's making it, he's going to put him up.
Moore's battling, throws it up. Foul on Crawford.
Well, go back and here's a sign of respect. Watch this ball go in there. And remember what we talked about. They are a great low post passing team. And here comes the double team by Stevens. Nice job by Big Junior to dribble it out. By the way, that is a lost art that we're going to talk about today. Passing out of a double team. He took that ball and dribbled it off the lane. You know why? Create space to be able to see the rest of the court.
For Colorado State, this is a big moment for them as well, this third-place game. They had an incredible season, 20-7 on the year. Niko Medved, one of the up-and-coming head coaches in the country.
Yeah.
They were in a very tough Mountain West. They were on the verge of making the NCAA tournament, and they've got a young team who's basically all coming back.
John, I love both of these coaches. They are nearly identical in that they're at places where they're building their resumes. And your point on Niko Medved is well taken. Terrific offensive mind. Eric Kunkel, very similar. Think about this. They lost a close game to North Texas in the Conference USA tournament. Kobe Williams only played 3 minutes with a broken hand. Love both of these coaches.
Jumper is good by Isaiah Crawford. He's been a real big key to this offense for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he's maybe my favorite player other than Junior on that team because he's so versatile. He can play. He's playing point guard for this team at 6'6", 220. Only a sophomore. There are a lot of good young players on these 2 teams.
High ball screen by Thomas. Stevens goes over the top of it and cans the jumper.
Speaking of sophomores, this kid's had a great tournament. Really could have been on the all-tournament team. Averaging about 16 points a game and shooting it well from deep.
And that'll be a travel on Jacoby Pemberton. So the first media timeout, we're going to take it with them. Colorado State with an early 2-point lead here in this third-place game. Coming up, how about a little history lesson in the NIT? Let's go to school. Welcome back to Frisco, Texas. The third-place game of the NIT. Colorado State on top 7-5. And we talked about a little history lesson. Talk about some game changers. Back in 1945, George Mikan, who played in the NIT, they changed the rules for him. They inserted the goaltending rule because of him.
Exactly. He and Bob Curlin used to swat shots as they were in the air. It was legal back then. And, of course, because of those 2 giants of the game, pun intended, the goaltending rule was changed because of them.
Turnover, here comes Louisiana Tech, but Stevens takes it right back.
And that was both offensively and defensively. I got another nugget for you, John, on a dead ball about George Mikan. Nice.
How about Thomas? And one getting the rebound over the back.
George Mikan was the first commissioner of the ABA. He is the guy that brought the red, white, and blue basketball into professional basketball.
And I know that.
Of course, the three-point line came out of the ABA, so it's interesting. He was always big on stretching the floor with the three-point line in the ABA, and yet he was a big man who never shot the ball outside of the paint.
How about any youngster growing up knows how to do the Mikan drill?
Exactly.
That's where it comes from. You put it up with the right hand, then you put the left and go back and forth underneath the basket.
Little history lesson today. Oh, yeah. Crawford
stroking it from outside.
I like this kid. He's a sophomore. He comes from a great high school program, North Crowley in Fort Worth. And he's off to a great start. Deshaun Thomas!
You know, we've seen this the last few days. They've been leaving him open, and he's been knocking down that shot.
Another one of those sophomores. This is going to be a fun game because you're going to hear about these two teams next year. Well, they had Kenny inside. I've talked about how well they pass it to Junior, but missed him.
Lofton dips the shoulder, creates some space. That's a veteran move from a freshman.
I like that he didn't get it the first time. He called for it and popped out on the perimeter. You saw that versatility.
So Lofton on the board, his first bucket of the day. David Roddy's a guy that Colorado State would like to get going. Thistlewood, that is just pure.
Well, he needed that one because he'd only made 1 3 in his last 2 games. And we remember a couple nights ago 0 for 7 against NC State.
Ledoux crossover to a pull-up 3. Thomas rips down the board.
Boy, Thomas has given them really good minutes. He shares that low post with Moores.
Ooh, look at the shake and bake.
Nice.
Moore with the floater in the lane. Gets his own board. Nobody boxed him out, but out of the pack comes Kobe Williams.
Look at him dribble with his left hand.
I still can't believe he is playing with a broken left hand. The heart on that kid.
Yes. Big reason why this team did not advance past North Texas.
Inside passing. Lofton can't finish at the rim, but he is fouled by Stevens.
Well, Deshaun Thomas out of Durham, North Carolina. Take a look right here. Good inside out by Roddy. He knocks down the long ball. And then watch Junior. Good footwork, pull up, nicely done.
At the line, Kenneth Lofton Jr. He'll get 2 shots.
You know, early on in the game yesterday, Lofton was bottled up, but his final numbers were actually really impressive. 20 points, 10 rebounds in the loss against Mississippi State.
Yeah, when we mentioned it, I think at the end of that game, that it was a quiet 20. He killed Mississippi State softly, and you look up and he has the numbers. And by the way, 3 games this year versus the SEC, almost 20 and 10.
But he's still not an SEC player.
Not yet, maybe by the end of the day. Remember what I said? I got to go back to that.
I will say this.
I said he didn't look like an SEC player. And he would have trouble with length. He would.
He's going to make you a believer after this game.
No. Have you not listened to me for 2 games? How much can I praise the guy without turning him into Karl Malone or Paul Millsap? We compared him to those guys.
There's also nothing wrong with playing at this level. I mean, this is a perfect opportunity for him.
It fits him.
Yes, because even if he had been in the SEC team, he may not have had this kind of minutes.
Listen, he's proven he can play against high-level competition.
Right.
To get the opportunity to play as a freshman here is a positive. And like I said, I coached at this level. I know what it's like to take on those power conference schools with guys like Junior Lofton.
Thomas open once again off the mark.
But that was very good of you, keeping the heat on me.
I got to keep you honest here. I got to keep you honest.
Listen, they've got great history here. You see Karl Malone, Paul Millsap. Randy White, who came right after Karl Malone, was a first-round pick of the Dallas Mavericks. But now the numbers aren't. I saw Paul as a freshman when he played at SMU a number of times. Listen, he's not Karl Malone. No one is. But his first year has been really impressive.
So Gordon, the other big man for Louisiana Tech, he just called with an offensive foul on the illegal screen.
Yeah, I mean, Lofton, when he came in, he even knew he wasn't even in the playing shape to be able to play. He was going 12, 15 minutes a game. He lost 25 pounds since coming to campus. He said, I learned how to condition right, how to get my body to where it needs to be able to play enough minutes. Now can play up to 30 minutes a game. But even when he came in, he knew that I got a lot of work to do.
Right, and I think that goes back to my original point, what I was saying. In a COVID year, when there's no typical schedule, you can't get on track, you got to cut these kids a lot of slack just because the fact that they're even out there putting in the effort, when you start and stop, I mean, that's impressive.
Well, all these freshmen come to campus in the summertime, and they use that summer to get in great condition. And almost every freshman that played this year, John, didn't have that luxury. Now, this guy's not a freshman, but this guy's a horse. Big fella.
Andrew Gordon.
Yep.
So big in the win over Western Kentucky in the quarterfinals.
He was a good contributor at West Virginia playing for Bob Huggins. There just weren't enough minutes for him and Oscar Shibwe and Derek Culver.
Colorado State with an early 3-point lead. Who's going to take home the third place trophy here in the NIT? ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by New York Life, helping people act on their love for 175 years. Looking at the pictures of Colorado State and their matchup in the semifinals against Memphis, a tough loss, 90-68, but what a season Colorado State has had. And can't forget, this team was so close of making it into the NCAA tournament. They're the #1 overall seed here in the NIT. And the way they ended the regular season, a tough stretch.
Yeah.
They had played 4 games in 7 days, losing that final one in Nevada.
Yeah, exactly. And one more win in the Mountain West tournament over Utah State would have done the trick as well. But to be the #1 seed in the NIT is kind of a consolation prize because it means you were the last team out of the field of 68.
Right. But still plenty to celebrate for this squad, and I think this game is a great opportunity to finish on a high note with all these players coming back. And Stevens knocks down the jumper.
And this kid's a star. Isaiah Stevens is arguably the best point guard in the Mountain West. And he is absolutely on his way to stardom.
Part of the joy in playing in this game, too, is that there's a lot of friends and family for these Colorado State players here. At home, they weren't allowed to have fans all season. So a lot of family members, this is the first time they've gotten to watch their boys, hug them after the bus, take them out to dinner. So just being able to play in front of them. There's Isaiah Stevens' mom, Pat. She's been here every game from Allen, Texas, just a couple miles down the road, getting able to see their boys one more time in person.
And remember, Chris, it's a great point you made. This Louisiana Tech team has a lot of kids from Dallas, so they're home too, and their families are here getting a chance to see them play. That's what's so fun about this game, John.
Isaiah Rivera goes to the line. It's incredible as a broadcaster just looking in the stands here at the Comerica Center, 25% capacity, but so many of them are parents supporting their kids, not being able to take advantage of this opportunity that they've had all season. They haven't been able to watch them play.
Oh, it's a great point, John. And not only were you celebrating the fact that the parents are watching these kids, but out of roughly 700 Division I programs, these are the only teams left playing in late March. And we were excited about the NIT because we got a chance to continue to celebrate the game we love. And players, families, coaches, staff, fans, we're all celebrating, even in a third-place game like this, which doesn't seem like it means much, but it does.
Oh, it means a lot.
Yep.
Tanjay stuck in the corner, needs some help. Lofton with the steal. Lofton running the break. Okay with the point guard skills.
Watch his eyes now. That's a great pass.
Williams, cross court,
Yep.
3-ball. What a sequence for Louisiana Tech.
Now, that was perfect. Let me tell you what happened on that play. He caught it and looked middle immediately. They screened the back of the defense, and there was no way the help defenders in the lane could get back out. That was really well done. Remember we talked about being a low post passer.
Look at Roddy just taking it into the chest of Crawford. Colorado State with a 4-point lead as we approach 9 minutes to play here in the first half. Crawford trying to answer off the mark. Bird comes down with the rebound. Isaiah Rivera giving them some good minutes, but turnover. Lofton with another steal. Williams, one-handed bandit.
Remember, Kobe Williams broke that finger on March 3rd, and he tried to play in Conference USA tournament. Could only play 3 minutes against North Texas, and of course, we know what North Texas ended up doing, going to the NCAA tournament and beating Purdue.
Stevens with a hesitation. It's stolen away by Williams, and he is fouled by Roddy.
Let's watch Junior now. Watch him handle the ball. Navigates himself in city traffic. Watch him go to the low post. Watch him look opposite right away. Great pass, and they screen the backside. There's no way that Stevens can get back out. We teach our post guys to catch and look middle, because then you can see 90% of the court as opposed to looking baseline when you catch it.
On that one sequence, he had the steal, he brought it up to the court, established post position, and then got the assist.
Yeah.
Williams cannot connect, but he is fouled by Moore. So Kobe Williams will go to the line for 3 shots.
Foul short, Kendall Moore. Moore's first personal. It's the 5th team foul for Colorado State. At the line is Kobe Williams. Williams at the strike with 3 shots.
Isn't this the cool part of being in an intimate arena here at the Comerica Center?
Yep.
25% capacity. We can hear what the players are hearing on the court.
You hear the support. Come on, Kobe. Man.
Four-point lead for Colorado State. Moore off the mark. Crawford rebound. Bulldogs looking to push the pace. Stolen by Roddy, and it's stolen back. Tiptoeing the line, the ballerina underneath, can't get the lefty layup to go.
And Nico Medved right here wants to slow it down. TV timeout coming. Watch how they use the space of the floor. This is what we call false motion until they get into their action. 5 out.
Roddy against Lofton. Look
How
at
about
those
his
hands. Fast break, Louisiana Tech, and Archibald cannot connect with that pass from Crawford. So Colorado State with a 4-point lead in this 3rd place game of the NIT. But it's been Kenneth Lofton Jr. early. Cookies! Game here at the NIT, Colorado State with a 4-point lead over Louisiana Tech. Let's continue the history lesson. In the 1950s, Wilt Chamberlain changed the rules in terms of free throw violation.
Exactly. You see where that semicircle is at the top of the foul line? He used to back up from half court and run to the foul line, take off, and lay it in on his free throws in high school, and they quickly changed that rule to not allow a player that athletic and big to do it. He also changed the size of the three-point lane. It used to be a kind of a keyhole, which is why we say the key, and they widened it to where it is now. Of course, the NBA, it's even wider. And so that free throw lane was changed because of Wilt Chamberlain as well. To me, he and Kareem don't get the recognition of being 2 of the greatest 3 or 4 or 5 players in the history of the game. And I still believe Kareem is the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball.
Okay. My generation would say Jordan.
Yeah, and you don't think Kareem could play in the SEC, but I do.
Oh, my goodness.
We're having fun, my friend. I hope you are.
Oh, I'm enjoying this. The fact that we are watching a basketball game, calling this game. I mean, these kids have been through a lot this season.
Yeah.
For more information, go to NCAA.com, your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. David Roddy is such an interesting guy because 3-sport athlete in high school, played football, basketball, and track, could have played football in college. You can see that he's got that strong athletic body. Where do you think he needs to improve his game and jump next year? Because he was so good this season.
Yeah. You know what? His outside shooting, he can become more of a deadly shooter. He's got good touch.
Oh, wow. That was a big elbow to the face of Roddy. And they're going to have to look at that.
Well,
they
came with a hard double team. Remember, there's a cylinder rule in effect too. If they don't review it, I think they are going to review it.
They're going to have to review this one. And I think
Go ahead.
And I think what head coach Eric Conkle is upset about is the fact that the initial foul wasn't called,
right,
and then Lofton needed to create space.
Yeah, let's watch right here. Now remember, Lofton is allowed to have space to turn, but what I think what he did, and when Roddy reached in, he got the ball first. Lofton was a little frustrated with Roddy crowding him. The new rule, John, is you have to give an offensive player space to make a basketball play, which includes pivoting. But I thought Junior went a little over the top.
Oh, that is just a frustration elbow there as he was bottled up. Now, the good news for Roddy is that he bounced back up. This is a tough kid, so he looks like he's going to be okay after taking that elbow.
But yes, and he will be. But remember, if he has violated that cylinder, they can actually put this foul on Roddy. That's the rule, because you have to give, I'm not saying they're going to do this, but you must give an offensive player room to make a basketball play, which includes pivoting. Here's
so the question is, did they give it to him?
That's exactly right, and that's a judgment call right here. Take a look now. Now he gets ball there. My sense is he's over-exuberant with the elbow. Okay, so they are going to call it a cylinder foul. So they're not going to penalize. It looks like they're not. Now we're away from the court. The referees gave me the cylinder foul rule.
Cylinder foul. 21 white, foul goes off of Lofton.
There you go. Okay, and that's the rule. And the rule is designed to protect the offensive player and allow him to make a basketball play. Now, again,
that's a tough pill to swallow if you're Roddy, who just took an elbow to the chops.
Yeah, take a look now. See, Roddy's got to let him pivot, and he doesn't give him room to pivot. It is a good call. Now, this is how basketball works with TV announcers. Half the fans watching this now, the Colorado State fans, don't agree with that call. But that's the rule.
And this is an excellent officiating crew. Larry Spalding, Jerry Heater, Brooks Wells.
Yeah, and how about the big fella coming right back, smoothly scoring up over Roddy?
Now, Roddy has 2 fouls with that personal that was called on him now. Bird kick out Tonje in front of the Louisiana Tech bench. Crawford board.
Here we go.
Pass to Lofton. And maybe that's what's going to need to get Lofton going. Seems like he's energized after that.
Yeah, and listen, he's going to get going. We know that, John. But a good look ahead that time and a good catch.
So the foul was charged to Thistlewood. Let's go back to that original elbow.
Yep. You must give the offensive player room to make a basketball play, which includes pivoting. And Roddy was so close to Lofton that there was going to be contact when Lofton pivoted.
Now, if you're a head coach for Louisiana Tech, what do you now say to your young star after he didn't get called for that elbow, but it did seem a little excessive?
The one thing we've seen from this young man is he plays with great energy and exuberance, and that energy can sometimes get you in trouble. But I think Eric Kunkel obviously has done a terrific job with this kid all year. I'd rather calm a guy down than to try to check his pulse rate.
Full court pressure by the Bulldogs, down by 4. Three ball on the way, and Moore is going to be fouled by Ledoux. So 3 free throws on the way for Colorado State. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Sweet 16 continues today on CBS and TBS, or you can stream games on the March Madness Live app from anywhere. For more information on game times and networks, go to ncaa.com.
We've talked about Zay Stevens and how good a NIT he's had. This young man has been a 3-year starter for Nico Medved. He's like the elder statesman of this team in many ways.
The backcourt of Moore and Stevens, they have caused so many problems for the Mountain West all season long. It's very hard to game plan for the both of them.
No question. They both shoot it. They can both play on the ball or off. And Kendall Moore, for a guy his size, is really good in the paint. He's a great floater guy. Tanji's doing a nice job on Junior fronting him. They're trying to lob it over the top.
Ledoux, nice head fake, got it caught on his hip though. Crawford with a deep 3. Rebound to Tanji.
Not sure that Crawford wanted to take that shot, but the clock was running down.
Moore's backing into the paint. He's double teamed and foul on the floor. That's going to be called against Lofton.
James Moore is a redshirt freshman, so he came in with that sophomore class, but they saved that year of eligibility last year. He's a young man from Auckland, New Zealand. He's already a part of the national team program at 6'10", 240. You'll watch him a year or two from now and see great improvement from him.
Both of these teams, they're going to need to put together strong non-conference schedules going forward. But if you're a big boy school, would you want to play one of these teams?
No, that's why they both have won over 20. Watch these two guys work in the post now. Look at Tanji doing a nice job of fronting Junior. No, that's why these guys are, were borderline NCAA teams. I thought the one, and the coaching staff at Louisiana Tech would say this, the one bad game they had this year was at LSU. They were down 30. They were never in the game, but that was early.
Colorado State 31-22 of Louisiana Tech. This is their largest lead of the ball game. Williams in and out. He's been really good from the outside, even with one hand. Lofton offensive board in the putback.
Boy, to get that ball on the baseline and then to power through Moores was a pretty good play right there. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Stevens gets the ball back, pulls the trigger. What a sequence. That's why he has been so hard to guard all year long.
When Stevens threw it back to Morris, who's not going to shoot it, he dribbled right back at Stevens and set a screen on a dribble handoff.
Lofton, you know where he's going, to the paint, and he is going to be fouled by Moores.
Well, they're working in the low post, John. Take a look. Battling. Not easy. Junior. Finesse. Yeah, I said it. Finesse.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by PlayStation 5. Play has no limits. Louisiana Tech, their road here to the third place game. They beat Ole Miss in the first round. Western Kentucky in the quarters. Got tripped up by Mississippi State last night, but they are focused. Look at those eyes by Amari Archibald, locked in. The big fellas. This is a fun team. They've got a bright future, and the fans, everyone should be very proud of this team, what they've accomplished this season.
Yeah, I call them junkyard dogs. A bunch of, medium-sized guys who are versatile, play different positions. We've seen Archibald go to the point, John, when Kobe Williams went out. So this is a team that, in a league that is as competitive as any league in the country, Conference USA, with the likes of North Texas and Western Kentucky, Old Dominion, and Andy Kennedy's team had a great year this year at UAB. What makes it so hard is it's usually a one-bid league, and oftentimes there's 3 or 4 teams that are qualified to be that champion.
Lofton has scored the last 8 points for Louisiana Tech. Moore's inside, doesn't even bring it down.
Good look right there by Zay Stevens. And again, little pick and roll always causes some confusion.
Good battle, Archibald against Moore, just pulled up over the top of him.
Boy, he went right over Moore at that time. Caleb Ledoux's been quiet, John, after that outburst we saw a couple games ago.
Yeah, the scouting report is out. Stevens slipped and will be called for the travel. That's the 12th turnover of the ball game for Colorado State. 7-point lead. Their largest lead of this half was at 10. We approach 3 minutes to play in this first half. The third place game here in the NIT. Earlier we crowned a champion Memphis with an impressive win over Mississippi State. Ledoux, a little push off, got some space, can't knock down the jumper. Thistlewood brings it down.
I love what you said, little push off, because that's how much they've crowded him on that three-point line. Trying to create that space. Good defense.
Stevens pulls up in Ledoux's face. Lofton brings it down.
I'll tell you what's been underrated today by Colorado State. Their ball pressure out front. Every time Junior tries to post, the passer is the first post defender today. They've done a really good job of keeping that ball from going inside. You see?
Lofton was trying to post up, but as you said, he couldn't get the position, so Ledoux pulled the trigger.
Yeah, and when you're up on Ledoux like that, he can't see inside. So that defender is actually the first guy guarding the post for you.
Ledoux just 1 of 7 from the field. He's got 3 points. They need him to get going. Inside, Lofton not happy with that one. Foul will be called against him. That's his second. Coming up at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, the NCAA Women's Championship Sweet 16 continues with a couple of 6 and 2 seeds squaring off. Oregon and Louisville, followed by Texas and Maryland. You can always watch every game live on the ESPN app.
And two guys who know a little bit about the Final Four, Kelly Graves, the coach of Oregon. Of course, Jeff Walsh has done an amazing job at Louisville through the years. Looked like Dawn Staley's team was going to advance. When I was watching between games, they were up double figures on Georgia Tech, #1 seed.
7-point lead here for the Rams as we approach 1:30 to play in this first half. Deflected by Moore, but stays here with Louisiana Tech.
One thing that impressed me when we watched practices this week, both coaches have just such great demeanors, easygoing.
Nice scoop at the bucket, Amari Archibald. No, and I think I would agree with you. Eric Conkle and Nico Medved, two coaches whose stock is definitely on the rise.
Yeah, there's no question. The difference between these two guys and a guy like Grant McCaslin at North Texas or Paul Mills, who did a great job at ORU, is the perception of getting into the tournament, the NCAA tournament, and winning a game. You know, these guys are not any different in terms of coaching. It's just you get on that main stage and win a game, and you change. I was not any different a coach after Manhattan beat Oklahoma than I was the day before. Just all of a sudden, you know, it's the launching pad for low and mid-major coaches. And these two guys are going to be in demand someday. Their ADs don't want me to say that, but down the road, they're going to both be in demand because they win, they do it right, they have great demeanors, and the kids like playing them.
How does this experience in the NIT prepare this teams potentially for postseason next year?
One and done, okay? This is one and done, a little different, but you think about it, Shaka Smart, Anthony Grant, guys like this, they're on their way.
Game here in the NIT, John Schriffen alongside Fran Fraschilla, Chris Budden. Colorado State, they've looked good. They've been in control for most of this game. They're up by 8.
Just heard that Mike Woodson will leave the New York Knicks to go back to a place that is near and dear to his heart. He'll be the new coach at Indiana. And Mike, I believe, is 62 years old, but he's part of that Indiana tradition. And the interesting thing about Mike is that he's had a lot of head coaching experience in the NBA. Coaching will not be the issue. He'll never be overmatched when it comes to coaching.
Deep 3 by Archibald. Lead is down to 5 as we're now under a minute to play in this first half. When you have 2 steady guards like Colorado State, the press is just not an issue for them. Thistlewood.
Think he's getting attention today?
Yeah, right. Stevens, his pass goes off the defender out of bounds. So it stays here with Colorado State, but 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Always love these situations because you don't want to burn a timeout here. What do you have in your back pocket to get a shot here?
Tanjay going up against Pemberton, picks up his dribble. He needs help. Thistlewood batted around. The Rams have it, and they can hold.
Did you see how quickly Moore got that ball out? He already knew what they wanted. That clock only got reset to 20.
So shot clock winding down. It's now at 4. Stevens lining it up. Pulls the trigger, in and out. Archibald with 2 on the clock. He looks up, he sees it at the buzzer. Count it. Xavier Armstead beats the halftime buzzer. And how about this, Fran? Colorado State only with a 2-point lead at the half.
We expected this to be a feisty matchup. The officials will go take a look right here just to make sure and confirm. Watch that clock up top. Does it leave his hands?
Oh,
I don't think so.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he got it off in time now.
That's why you go to the monitor. Let's take a look right here. Got to be out of his hands, and they wave it off. Good piece of officiating.
Hey, and I'll tell you this, these officials are so good it did not take them very long to go to the monitor and decide that.
We like that.
Yeah, let's take another look.
Ball's in his hand as it hits 0.
Mm-hmm. That was close. So officials say no basket. So Colorado State will now take a 4-point lead now. Excuse me, a 5-point lead into the break. Now here's Kevin Connors and Seth Greenberg and John Crispin in the studio when we come back from break. Welcome back to Comerica Center. The NIT third-place game earlier. This halftime of the third-place game, Colorado State with a 5-point lead over Louisiana Tech. Frisco, what a amazing host they've been all week long. Let's take a look back to the championship game a little earlier today. Memphis had it going on both ends of the floor. Williams with the block, Nolly with the 3. They go on to beat Mississippi State. And how about our own Chris Budden catching up with the winning coach?
Can you let me know what Little Penny would think of this championship?
He would say, "You did it, fool."
Perfect. Congratulations, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations, Memphis. I mean, the last 2 days playing like one of the best teams in the country, putting it all together. John Trippin alongside Fran Fraschilla, Chris Budden. Fran, it was an incredible performance by Memphis.
Yeah, what did we say at the beginning of the NIT, John? Celebration, right? Let's celebrate basketball, and today Memphis celebrated a championship. First NIT title since '02, and a big one for the city.
Start this second half, Louisiana Tech, look who they go to, Kenneth Lofton Jr.
And you notice that Stevens came over to double team on the backside, but he really didn't get as close as Roddy did. And so the big fella had room to operate in there.
You got to give Roddy a lot of credit. Thistlewood with a deep 3, in and out. He's been struggling this weekend. He took a big shot. He popped back up, and it didn't rattle him. It didn't shake him at all.
Well, take a peek at him. Look at him, look at right now. How about that? That's 2 quick ones.
Lofton finishing inside. First 4 points of the second half
15.
for Lofton.
Yeah, 15. He's only taken 6 shots today. Good start by the Bulldogs.
A 1-point lead for Colorado State. Their biggest lead in the first half was 10. Moore, 3. Off front iron, Lofton with the rebound. Archibald tosses it back to Ledoux.
I said it to you the other day. You almost have to practice the first 3 minutes of the second half. You have to practice. You have to come out and warm up hard. You have to not settle for tough shots. You've got to go to the basket. You have to screen hard and block out hard, and you have to get 50-50 balls. There has to be a mentality to start the second half, and here's why, John. The Rams killed themselves to get that lead in 20 minutes, and within 2 minutes, it's a close game again.
Crawford into the lane. Moore's walls up, but Crawford sticks with it. Can't get the putback. Fight underneath. Roddy's got it. We're 2 minutes into the second half of the third place game as Stevens calmly knocks down a 3.
That's the second time today Moore's had the ball in his hands, threw it out top, and set a screen for Stevens. The defender went under. That's a no-no. You can't go under on Stevens. But Moore's does a great job of handling the ball without being a threat to score.
That was a pass, but Crawford, that's got to be a 3. No, they're saying his foot was on the line, so it's only a 2. But that was supposed to be a pass to Lofton, but I guess they'll take it.
I think the next time there's a dead ball, they're going to check that.
So a 2-point lead for Colorado State. Thistlewood curling off the screen and in rhythm knocks down the 3.
As tough a nights as he's had some go in and out. He keeps shooting.
Lofton stripped by Roddy, so it stays here with the Bulldogs.
Let's watch his feet now. And Larry Spalding, when he went by. Yeah, now what's going to happen is he told the scorers table that at the next TV timeout, they'll review that.
Five-point lead for Colorado State. Crawford, good position, cross-court pass to Pemberton. Ledoux lines up a straightaway 3. Lofton pulling it down, taking it into the chest, and a 1.
Watch his length right here. Watch the concentration on his ball. It's gonna look at him. Watch the ball. He's got it, and he's gonna go right back up through Morris, who's stunned.
You see how big his eyes got?
Yeah.
And he didn't even blink at one point. He was just focused in on that ball.
It was like a double Whataburger with cheese. I'm just telling you, when that ball was in the air.
Oh, come on. Come on.
That's where I'm stopping on the way home, bro.
The kid already has it out for you.
Hey.
You're giving him more ammo.
Great concentration. I could be his agent today.
2-point lead for Colorado State. Moore's inside. He's trying to muscle it in. Lofton pokes it away. The hands, the movement, the feet of this youngster is just so good. And he's going back to the free throw line.
He's got Moores frustrated, too. We're going to see Deshaun Thomas soon. Because Moores is trying his best, but he's got nothing for Lofton right now. Redshirt freshman Moores, big guy. Nico Medved on the bench right now. He's gesticulating like, how do we guard this guy?
Let's take another look back at that pass by Crawford that turned into a score.
Yeah.
Was this a 3 or not? That's a good call. I think his foot was on the line.
Yeah, and what's going to happen is they'll review it at the under 16 because Larry Spalding went by the scorers table and said, mark that, we're going to go back and look at that. They don't want to stop the game for a review, so they'll check it at the next TV timeout.
Kendall Moore.
hear them on the court. That's off him. No! Oh, I love the sounds. 4-point lead for Colorado State. We played almost 4 minutes here in the second half. Third place title on the line here in this NIT. Thistlewood from the corner. Lofton leading the break again. Finds the guard in Archibald. Getting possession. He's going to work right away. Up and in.
Stevens is coming, but he's too late and he's too little. He's trying to double from the baseline, but he's not there in time. And it probably has a lot to do with the contact Roddy took. Great agility inside by Kenny Lofton, avoiding any kind of contact.
Lofton's got 9 of the 11 Louisiana Tech points this half. He is on a mission. He wants to end his season with a W here in the NIT.
Welcome back. 2-point ball game here in Frisco. The refs looked at that 3 by Louisiana Tech. They've adjusted that to a 2-point shot. I spoke with both coaches at halftime, and for Nico Medvedev for Colorado State, he wants his team to play with pace on offense, but not in a hurry. He said the biggest thing is starts on defense. We know the Bulldogs can hit some threes, so we got to protect the outside. For Eric Conkle, he was really pleased with the way his team maintained the composure after not getting off to an early start. He wants to keep Colorado State off the free throw line. I also wanted to add, I saw Lofton coming back onto the court. He gave me a nice friendly wave. So the anger only goes to one of our broadcasting partners, Fran. You should know. A little motivation for the guy. He's got 20 points today, 7 of 9. The rest of his team, 24 points. So wherever it comes.
This summer, he's going to have
10%.
a picture of Fran Fraschilla in his home gym.
I coached 18 NBA players. I know good players. He's a very good player. And listen, if I've motivated him, he's been pretty good in the second half. He's already got 9.
5-point lead for Colorado State.
Good D. You see Thomas back in there. He's going to try to slow down Lofton now as well.
Crawford with the floater. That goes. So every time Louisiana Tech looks like they're going on a run, Colorado State is like, not yet. I think that's a credit to Nico Medved. And when we talk with him, he is so cool and calm and just very, I said, look, there's a lot of hype around you. You make these second half adjustments. He just laughed. He goes, come on, there's no buzz around me. He's a very humble guy, and I think that's the kind of team he has. These are very humble players, and they don't get shaken at any point.
Well, a lot of these guys were not highly recruited. Like we think of top 100, and they've made them, they're the epitome of a team. Both of these teams are built very similarly.
Now, the double was there, but Thomas called for the foul on Lofton. For more information, go to NCAA.com, your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships.
You really have to practice double with the new rule, cylinder rule. You really have to practice double teaming, and they just come late.
Good defense by Thomas. Roddy against Ledoux and lays it in for 2.
That was sweet. A little bit of a Euro step there as he let Ledoux run by him. That's too late.
Lofton quickly comes right back. And the way he's able to finish, there wasn't even an angle there.
No, he does his work early in the post-up. He does it earlier than the defender is ready for it, and he gets you off the mark because he's so good doing it early.
Roddy tries to answer with a jumper. Ledoux comes down with the board.
Watch him now. He's working at the foul line.
He's calling for it. He wants the ball. Crawford trying to get it to him. Skip court pass, and Ledoux will travel.
Watch him do his work early. Right now, he's going to start to post up. See how he posts him up 3/4 up the lane, and it's too late for Thomas or Stevens, the helper, the double teamer, to get there.
Lofton ties a career high. He's got 22 points. He scored 22 against Ole Miss earlier in the NIT. And we still have over 13 minutes left to play here.
Remember I mentioned Adrian Dantley the other day regarding David Roddy? This kid, and again, look up Adrian Dantley, folks. He was a great NBA player. But very similar in the way he carves out position to Lofton Jr.
You know, Louisiana Tech's going to request that you broadcast all their games now if he's going for a career high tonight.
I'm okay with it. Trust me, I can take the heat.
3-point lead for Colorado State. 13 minutes to play in the second half of this third-place game in the NIT. Stevens, kick out, Tanjay. So now Thomas, the other big guy in the game now, as Williams knocks down a three.
I'll tell you, that broken finger on that left hand is not affecting Kobe Williams' jump shooting in this tournament. He is confident.
Louisiana Tech has not had a lead all weekend. I'm talking in the semifinals or tonight, and we are tied at 51.
Well, we expected this, John. One of these teams is going to get another win to pad to that 20-plus season. And watch Junior Lofton go to work right here. Everything is below the rim. Everything is about girth, touch, agility. And these are all in the second half. Great concentration inside. You know, he really looks like Charles Barkley. And I'm talking about the Barkley that played at Auburn. Look at his face. He reminds me of Charles Barkley back at Auburn.
Isaiah Stevens just knocked down a three to retake the lead for Colorado State. Williams driving baseline, bottled up, and took too many steps travel.
My man looks like Barkley with a head of hair. Seriously.
He does look like a little young Barkley.
He does.
And what I love about his game is that he has finesse moves, but there's so much of it that's heart. Like you could just tell, he just wants it more than everyone else out on the court. Like when the ball is up in the air, he wants to be the guy that brings it down.
Listen, if you don't think he could play in the SEC, you're nuts, okay?
Thomas, inside passing, Lofton stripped. Foul is called, and that'll be against Williams. First foul on Williams, third team foul on Louisiana Tech. A 3-point ball game. This is turning out to be a good one. Third place game of the NIT. ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Hugs all around for the 2021 NIT champs. And post-game, it's getting a little wet in there. Oh, the ice bath. Penny Hardaway, the winning coach for Memphis Tigers, capping off an impressive season. Really just dominant performance.
And a great basketball team in the second half of the year. I think it was 11 of 13. I hope I got that right. But it was 14 of 17, and the 3 losses, 2 to Houston and 1 to SMU on the road. So they were fun to watch.
They were really fun to watch. This Colorado State team has been fun to watch all season long. They have been able to hold this lead the entire game. We've been tied a few times, but they're up by 4. Thomas on the line.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are nipping at their heels. But both of these teams by now, even though we talked about how young they are, they've had a lot of experience in close games this season.
And they understand. I mean, you win one more game in the regular season somewhere here or there. Different outcome in terms of which tournament you end up in. Thomas, good board.
I'll tell you, he had to work for that because Junior was lurking. Let's see what they got out of a timeout. This is a set play.
Stevens going over the Roddy screen in the corner to Tanjay. Frees himself with a pump fake. Board to Lofton.
Yeah, good set play. They had a ball screen on one side, but the flare screen on the other. Got the open look for Tanjay, he just couldn't knock it down.
So Louisiana Tech got the stop they need. Can they turn it into points on this end? Lofton against Thomas, loses the ball. Here comes Bird. Knocked out of bounds, staying here with Colorado State. Head coach Nico Medved just loves the effort from his guys. Coming up at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, the NCAA Women's Championship. Sweet 16 continues with a couple of 6 and 2 seeds squaring off. Oregon and Louisville, followed by Texas and Maryland. You can always watch every game live on the ESPN app. You know what I missed so much about this COVID year? Just traveling.
Yeah.
Like Colorado State. Fort Collins, Colorado is one of the most underrated college towns in America. I love when I get a game there and visiting. It is such a beautiful town, a beautiful campus. Everyone's on their bikes, on skateboards. It's a very green community.
Yeah, well, you remember I coached at New Mexico, and so that was back when Utah and BYU were in the league, so your trips were to Fort Collins, Provo, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, San Diego. Not too bad.
That's not too bad. Mountain West Conference, some great spots to visit.
I didn't mention Laramie, Wyoming for a reason, but still a beautiful college
I don't mind
town.
Laramie.
It's a great place.
I actually brought my dog there on the trip to Laramie. We went around Wyoming. It's a beautiful state. But yeah, I mean, Fort Collins.
A great place.
Yeah.
Evergreen trees everywhere.
4-point lead for the Rams.
One thing I want you to watch the last 10 minutes of this game, John, is the post feeding inside to the junior.
Well, Crawford, 2 large steps, gets to the rim.
One of the reasons he had the driving angle is because Junior inadvertently, because of his size inside, sealed off any help defenders. That was really well done.
Thomas with a 3. Lofton was late to close out, and he made him pay. And a steal by Bird, up and in. Look at the energy and the effort by Colorado State. Timeout on the floor, Louisiana Tech. The Rams starting to get some separation, up by 7, under 10 to play. Back here in Frisco, Texas, the third place game of the NIT. Colorado State with a 7-point lead. Continuing our history lesson of the game. Game changers from 67 to 75. Because of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, they took out dunking in college and high school.
They did, and it's why he perfected the greatest weapon in the history of basketball, the sky hook, unstoppable. And I know I got to always school my young friends about Kareem. To me and to many others, the greatest basketball player to ever play the game. Love LeBron, love Michael. They're certainly 2 of the greatest ever. But to me, Kareem, the greatest player ever.
Away from the ball, Pemberton called with an offensive foul.
All
right, so for this generation, explain why you think so.
Well, first of all, he's the leading scorer in the history of the league, and for the last 10 or 12 years of the league, instead of scoring 30 a game, which he probably could have done at will, he played on a team with Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Byron Scott, and he was a facilitator. But early in his career at UCLA and certainly the Milwaukee Bucks, unstoppable, really is the best way to put it.
Roddy looks unstoppable on the inside. 9-point lead for Colorado State. 4 turnovers for Louisiana Tech in their last 6 possessions. Got to take care of the ball. Archibald. Lofton keeps it alive, stays in the paint, gets it up, but Roddy takes it away. Here come the Rams. Tanjay to Bird, back to Tanjay.
Nice pass.
Thomas finishes off.
Good job by Tanjay. Hey, you know what? We've played 32 minutes. We haven't had a dunk today in this game, which is kind of in keeping with Kareem's dominance so great that they outlawed the dunk for 5 years. But look at a double team now. Better double team, and they call a cylinder foul again. Don't argue with me now. Go read the rule book, because that's the rule. You must give the post player room to pivot. And so the dilemma for Colorado State, as I said earlier, is Stevens wants to double, but he also doesn't want to get hit with an elbow. And so I don't know where the line of demarcation is to come set a good double without violating the rule or catching an elbow in the face. It's tricky. It really is.
And Lofton's the kind of player who protects the ball up high. So he doesn't allow the guards to swipe it away down low.
It's a great point, John. He knows how to play with that ball, and he chins it. Look at the seal inside.
And if you want to come get it, you're going to get an elbow first.
Right, and it may not be a foul on him. That's nice. Yep.
Isaiah Crawford ends the run by Colorado State.
Rams are spending so much time on Lofton that that's how Crawford got the post up. Tech is a great post-feeding team, which you don't really say anymore in college basketball.
Colorado's hit their last 4 shots from the field. Bird curling on the screen, goes over the screen of Roddy.
High dribble because of that cast.
What I love about Kobe Williams, he's always coming with some speed. Inside again, look at those elbows creating space. Lofton drawing the foul. When he's in that close, that's all you can do.
No, you know what? It was a great front by Roddy. Thistlewood came over, but he don't want any part of that.
Louisiana Tech trying to keep it close, but the Rams are rumbling. Welcome back to the third place game. John Schriffen, Fran Fraschilla, Chris Budden. Now, when we went to timeout, take a look at one of the previous plays, Fran.
Yeah, so here we come. Here comes a double. Here comes the reach in. That happened earlier.
That was in the first half.
Yeah, that foul went on Roddy because of the cylinder rule, okay? Roddy took a pop to the chin. He got the foul. By rule, that is the right call. The problem for Colorado State now is they don't know how to defend this guy. And Niko Medved spent that whole timeout, virtually his whole coaching staff, asking the officials, what do you want us to do? And I have to tell you, I've been watching basketball a long time. With this new rule, I don't know how you guard it. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense when they come in double because the foul could be on them.
Lofton now has a new career high. He's got 23 points tonight. We still have over 7 minutes to play here in the second half. It was really interesting in that last timeout to see every coach on the staff of Colorado and a 10-second backcourt violation on the Rams.
Yeah, they were trying to ask the officials as to what do we do here? Like, you have some veteran guys, Ali Farouk-Manesh, Dave Thorson, the guy on the far left. He was the assistant coach at Minnesota when Niko Medved was the student manager and student coach. He's well known in Minneapolis. But, yeah, I'm with them. Not that Junior's not doing anything wrong. He's taking advantage of what he does so well, which is use his body. And they're trying to sandwich him. Look.
3 on the shot clock. Archibald, Lofton gets the board again. They can't foul. 25 points on the day.
I'll tell you what happened there. His man had to leave on the drive, and poor Moore, Kendall Moore, had to try to block out Junior, and that was the ultimate mismatch. You almost can't leave Junior, and you almost have to give up the drive.
He's got a double-double, 25 points, 13 rebounds. Bird bottled up. There's the steal. Kobe Williams coming the other way. Archibald drives on Thistlewood. Kick out to Ledoux. They need that big time.
Yeah, great pass as well. Terrific drive and look opposite.
3-point lead, but Louisiana Tech is on an 8-0 run. 6:12 to play here in the second. Third place game here in the NIT. Louisiana Tech on an 8-0 run. Fran, how do they get over the hump? Because we've seen this all game. They've been close with Colorado State, but they haven't been able to take the lead yet.
Well, they're scrappy. They're scrappy. And one of the things they can do, which they're doing right now, is they have the ability to press you in the full court. They throw multiple defenses at you, and right now they're trying to take Colorado State out of their rhythm.
Sees Colorado State has not scored in over 2.5 minutes. Thomas going up against Lofton. Williams tries to come from behind, late on the cover. Thistlewood, pump fake, 3 on the way.
No, challenged. He's shook right now because he can't get free.
Ledoux wastes no time, puts that one up and in, and we are all tied at 64 apiece.
Well, Ledoux told us that once he makes one, then it's pretty much a chance for him to catch fire.
11-0 run by the Bulldogs. And the scoreless drought continues for the Rams. Stevens, he's eyeing a 3. Missed badly. Here comes Archibald. In low to Lofton. Who's that off of? That's off of Colorado State. Stays here.
You know what you love about this 11-0 run? Does it look like these guys don't want to be out here competing in a third-place game? This energy is awesome, Chris.
Yeah, for Louisiana Tech, they watched the entire second half and trophy presentation of the championship game. They pulled up chairs. They watched the whole thing.
Woo, buddy! Amari Archibald gives Louisiana Tech their first lead of the weekend. Semifinals, they didn't lead a single minute. Here tonight, their first lead of the game. Stevens ties the game right back.
This guy's not going anywhere. He is a legit player. Came right back and silenced that 14-0 run. We got a game. This is why we love this game.
Crawford with a huge elbow. Did he catch Roddy? Roddy is in pain on the floor. They blow the whistle.
Man.
I think they might have even drawn blood.
Roddy is taking a beating today.
I hope he's going to be okay.
He is taking a beating.
I apologize. I thought I saw some blood on the court.
See that turn.
Yeah,
it was a good pivot.
They did cut him open. That did draw blood. Yep. Man, he is a warrior. He has taken some big shots tonight.
Man.
And you hate to see that for this kid because he wants to finish this game strong.
John, these officials have had their hands full today. None of this is dirty, but watch the front pivot right here. He's just trying to bring the ball across the defender. We used to teach this. In the old days, we used to say rip it across his face. Nowadays, it can be a foul on offense or it can be a cylinder foul.
Man, this is just so tough for David Roddy, the former high school football player. He took an elbow to the jaw earlier. He just kind of ate it and popped back up, but this one clipped him across the forehead. Ever so slightly, but just the force and the elbow split him open. That's unfortunate. All right, let's go to Chris for more on David Roddy's story to get here to Colorado State.
Yeah, he's really such a gem. We talked about how he was a 3-sport athlete with track and football. He actually had some scholarship opportunities to play football, but he told me it wasn't because I liked basketball more than the other sport. I liked them equally. The difference was in recruiting in basketball, you get a chance to really know your coaches. You develop relationships. That's just impossible in football because you recruit so many people. He came from a small school. He wanted that close-knit group that he gets from a basketball team.
Well, we hope he'll have a chance to come back out here for the rest of the game. If not, we certainly wish David Roddy the best on his recovery. And if that was the last we see of him this season, I hope he has a really strong season coming up.
Flagrant 1, 22, 2 shots, and the basketball.
Okay. I said something to you during a break, a couple breaks ago, about the next foul like that. You remember?
You did. You called it.
I said it's going to be called on Louisiana Tech. And not for any reason other than that there's been so much contact today both ways, and most of it legal or within the rules, that I thought the next close one would go against Louisiana Tech.
And that's a credit to the Colorado State coaching staff who was working the officials in that last time, and I think a previous timeout.
I think so. And This is why as a former coach, and he's going to shoot 2 free throws and get the ball, Stevens. If you're a fan this summer, okay, today on Twitter, I put up the rule book. It's free. Download it. Read the rule book this summer before you criticize these guys. This is a hard sport to officiate.
Now, it's also, we need to point out, Crawford, it didn't look like there was any intent there on his part. He was just a rip-through move.
It was a rip-through move.
Just happened to come in contact with Roddy.
If I were coaching today, I would not teach the rip. We used to call it rip it through his face. But watch this play earlier, which, got, again, see the pop by Roddy. Roddy is a tough dude because he's taking a beating today.
So a 2-point lead now for Colorado State as we approach 4 minutes to play. Stevens popping off the screen. Thomas pulls down the board.
Boy, Deshaun Thomas has done a nice job today, quietly. Hit those couple threes early. He's really had the best effect on Lofton on the defensive end.
Thomas has got 15 points and 6 rebounds.
Got to shoot it. Now
1 on the clock. Tanjay to beat the buzzer. Misses everything. Shot clock violation for the Rams.
Yeah, Tanjay's had a tough day. He's passing up shots.
We are in store for an incredible finish to this third-place game of the NIT. Colorado State with just a 2-point lead. The NCAA Women's Championship continues tomorrow with 2 Elite 8 matchups right here on ESPN. Baylor takes on number 1 seeded UConn. That's at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Then Indiana and Arizona pulled off big upsets in the Sweet 16. They square off in the first ever Elite 8 for both teams. Spots in the Final 4 on the line. So as David Roddy continues to be tended to by the medical staff in the tunnel for Colorado State. You see the bracket. Memphis won the championship game earlier over Mississippi State, and we are tied once again off the lane by Ledoux.
Great pass. Second assist of the day for Junior. Good cut, good execution out of a timeout.
Ledoux's got 11 points, 4 of 12 from the field.
Stevens has had his typical 18 points today. Deshaun Thomas ties his career high with 15.
Stevens just runs over Williams, but Williams is called with the block.
Only their 16 foul, John, so they're not going to shoot just yet. Oh, maybe it is 7.
That is the 7th team foul, so they will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. There's Roddy. Will he make an appearance back in this game, man? That would be something. Front end, no good.
I'd say undoubtedly.
How'd you like to have a kid like that on your squad?
Oh, yeah. Love to see him come back. You don't know how if he's woozy also, but love to see him come back.
We got under 3 minutes to play. Lofton calling for the ball. Here comes the double by Colorado. Skip pass to Ledoux.
Big time. Great post feed first.
And here he comes, David Roddy running out of the tunnel like a wrestling entrance.
Willis Reed, 1970, May 8th, Game 7 against the Lakers.
And guess where he's going? He's checking right back in.
Oh, yeah.
He's at the scorer's table.
He didn't even stop to see Coach Medved.
Pull up by Thistlewood off the mark. Louisiana Tech with a 3-point game. The drama is building as we approach 2 minutes to play.
We love Frisco, but if we saw him run out of the tunnel at the Garden, oh, the magic we could make with that. Look at that.
He got clipped moments ago, and he is already ready to check back in. Archibald gets in the lane with a floater.
Big time. Kenny Lofton Jr. takes up so much space and so much attention that the lane is open.
A 7-0 run, largest lead of the ball game for Louisiana Tech at 5. Colorado State calls a timeout to stop the run. Also in part, you can tell they want to get their guy Roddy back into this ball game. John Schriffen alongside my partner, Fran Fraschilla, Chris Budden. And Fran, we had an excellent game in the championship game watching Memphis win the title here in the NIT. In this third place game, you can tell both teams, they want to be here. They want to take another win and build this into their offseason.
Well, we've been here long enough that you and I expected this kind of enthusiasm and energy, and this is the best way to end what's been a crazy season. You and I have gotten a chance to call college basketball this year, and the enjoyment, John, is because of what we've witnessed. This is the culmination of a great season, watching these kids pour their hearts out on the court.
We've never seen anything like this. Nobody had a playbook on how to deal with something like this pandemic. We didn't even know if we were going to have basketball. But now here we are. The last game in the NIT, a 5-point lead for Louisiana Tech.
Here's what I think is so interesting about how you prep for a third place game. What's your motivation? We said before that Louisiana Tech watched the entire second half of the championship game. Colorado State wanted no part of it. They didn't come out here at all. They didn't watch. They stayed in the locker room. That was their motivation to kind of get inside their brain. They didn't want to watch it. They wanted to be in their own spot for this game.
Yeah, and I think neither way is the wrong way to do it, Chris. I just think that what we've got here is a couple possession ball game down the stretch.
Stevens, step back three. Oh, in and out. Rebound to Archibald.
Boy, that ball was certainly right on the rim. Archibald is the full-time point guard with Kobe Williams playing with one hand.
And here's Crawford, guarded by Roddy. Roddy with the tape over his eye, close up the wound. Archibald jumper off the mark. Roddy with the rebound. 5-point lead for Louisiana Tech as we approach a minute to play.
Your offense has to have more pace now.
Moore slithers through the lane. He is bumped, and he will go to the line.
Kendall Moore has a chance to make this a one-possession game. And then what has to happen critically is a stop.
Now the key here is this is a two-shot. They said he was in the act of shooting. Knocks down the first. So Tanjay comes into the game for Thomas. Tanjay, a good defender, also a good shooter from the outside for Colorado State. And it's a one-possession game with 56.7 to play.
Crawford, Lofton, both under 70% from the line, but probably not a place to foul right now if you can get a stop. Got to get the defensive rebound if you're the Rams.
Louisiana Tech running the clock. Now they get inside. How about Roddy with the steal? Breakout is Colorado State. Moore gets it stripped, gets it back. Tanjay up, and he is fouled.
I was thinking that they might, if they didn't have that initial thrust, maybe kick it out. But watch the steal here by Roddy. Look at him work. Good job. And this is close. Watch Williams almost gets that ball loose. And maybe right there is the time to kick it out. But they'll take the 2 free throws and set up their press.
If Colorado State comes back and wins this game, we got to talk to Roddy. This kid took a shot to the jaw earlier in the game, pops back up. He takes a shot above his eye, bleeds, goes into the tunnel, gets patched up, comes back out, gets the steal. This kid is something else.
Tough day for Tanjay, nearly 90% free throw shooter, just missed the first.
So the lead is now cut to 2.
Got to set up your press.
So
If you have to foul, they got Junior out, so they got most of their best shooters out there.
Ledoux is fouled immediately by Stevens.
And Ledoux is mid-70s, so Eric Kunkel will take that.
So with the 8th team foul, Ledoux will go to the line for a 1-and-1. What's your theory on being on the line versus off the line late game?
As a team that's up on offense right now, I always wanted at least one of his teammates on the line to keep it as normal as possible. But that teammate had a rule. You are not allowed to move because you don't want to commit a foul on this end of the floor and give the Rams a chance to score 94 feet away.
And he missed, and there's nobody there to rebound but Colorado State. 25 seconds to play, down by 2. Roddy to the bucket!
How about that?
Roddy Piper, like the wrestler. He's coming out of the tunnel, and he tied the game.
And he's got those stitches. He doesn't care.
What a tough kid. That wasn't going to be the end of his season. He wanted to finish it out on the court, and we are all tied at 74.
Take a look. Missed free throw, transition, be on the attack. Right to the rim. Ledoux shoots mid-70s, comes up short with the missed free throw, and David Roddy ties it up. Now, on the timeout, Junior Lofton was inserted back into the game, so he becomes a threat inside.
David Roddy embodies everything that this Colorado State team is about. Representing Black Lives Matter, standing up for our teammates. He's an electrician. He fixed the equipment a game ago. Keeping his teammates up, keeping their spirits high, laughing, joking. But when it's game time, it's time to go to battle. And if I'm going to battle, I want to go to battle with Roddy.
Oh, this is great. You knew he was going to be aggressive and get right to the rim. And we saw it in the back locker room, him getting those stitches and knew he would be back. He has been punished today, literally, and still, he's a Timex. He takes a licking, and he's still ticking.
9 points on the game and 9 rebounds. Almost approaching a double-double, but forget the stats. Just his presence on the floor has lifted this Colorado State team. They have tied the ball game. Important to note, each team has 1 timeout remaining with 14.6 on the clock as Ledoux will inbound in front of his bench.
Now, listen, ideally you want to throw it to Lofton, but more often in this situation, a guard can get to the basket easier. This is going to be interesting.
3rd place game of the NIT on the line. 4 seconds on the clock. Lofton against Roddy. Up and in with 0.3 on the clock. Stevens at the buzzer. Oh, off the mark. And Louisiana Tech. How about that? Kenneth Lofton Jr. looking up at Fran Fraschilla said, I'm not an SEC guy. Take that.
Love it, man. They put it in his hands at the foul line. They were going to get the last shot of the half, put it in his hands, and he went to work. Every Colorado State Ram knew he was going to get the ball, and he went to work.
Woo! What an NIT we had. An incredible championship game that saw Memphis take the title, and in the 3rd place game, it all came down to this.
Look at all the white shirts. And he just did what he did all day, got to the basket. How about this? Beautiful.
Lofton, a career high 27 points, and the biggest one was that final bucket to win it. Yeah!
Yes!
Where did he look? Where did he look?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm excited. This is a great way to end college basketball this year.
Our final score, Louisiana Tech 76, Colorado State 74. Stay tuned. Sports Center is coming up next. I have thoroughly enjoyed this.
Hey.
For Chris Budden, Fran
Yes,
Fraschilla, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm John Trippin. A special thank you to the NIT, Conference USA, and Frisco, Texas for being an incredible host. Louisiana Tech takes home the 3rd place game. So long from Frisco.